for a couple of minutes for the stage to get set. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to Natya Darpan 2023. What a fine looking audience. Great, great. Folks, we are ready to get going here. I am Nikhil Sathe, your half host for the day, along with the other half host, Mansi Tamboli.
Hi everyone, I'm Mansi Tamburi, and we can't wait to see how everything comes together today, as these teams have been putting real hard work to make our evening a real blast. So let's give a round of applause to all the teams. Today is Natya Darpan's another sold-out show, so a remarkable audience here, houseful. Do you know, Nikhil, what's the success behind this Natya Darpan Festival's consecutive houseful shows?
Yeah, as Archana ji noted, Ashok is one humble guy, and that reflects in the entire organization. And so we would keep loving to listen from your feedback. That's how we get better and better, and keep ensuring we get good product here to have a good audience there.
Yes, so we have a QR code in the playbill. Please do take the short survey. We'd love to hear from you. Any suggestions, feedback that makes this another productive festival.
You might find this little gimmicky because we have more gimmicks planned. So folks, I know can we get started already? And just like we're about to take on a flight of creativity, of expression, of artistic excellence. But just like a flight making its way to the runway, the airline crew has to make some housekeeping announcements. So bear with us for a couple of minutes as we go through them. First and foremost, your cell phones, shut them off. Power them off, airplane mode, silent mode, take your pick. Just make sure they don't wake up during the entirety of the show. Also, please locate a good place to keep your beloved cell phones. Your pockets, hand purses, handbags, great places. Also, make sure that we don't crowd in the hallways here. Please do not try and meet your favorite artist backstage. The lobby is a wonderful place to socialize. We want to make sure that this flight keeps moving and is enjoyable to everyone. Don't get on an activity that is disturbing to your neighbors and distracting to our artist. Mansi?
Yes, so while we embark on this flight, there's a refreshments break for you all at 4 p.m. as well, and they're serving you complimentary tea and snacks, so do relish that. And now let's hold on to our seats as we look forward to this immersive and undistracted theater experience with all you enthusiastic thespians. Theater, as we all know, it has been a very successful medium to not just entertain people, but make them aware of the issues around us. So we have another play, the first play that we're beginning with this theater festival. We open the curtains to one of the most blazing issues of today's times worldwide, that's substance abuse. The first play for today, directed by Dr. Anirudh Railkar, is adapted by him from the famous play by Tim Kelly, The Empty Chair. This play is set in a counseling center for teenagers recovering from substance abuse and highlights the terrors of how a tragedy with one of their own affects each of them. So sit tight as this hard-hitting play promises to make you uneasy, but gives you an emotionally strong anti-drug message.
Presenting The Empty Chair.
Oh, wow.
What are you staring at?
The empty chairs. Empty chairs always make me nervous.
How come?
You tell me.
Well, there's one way to make sure an empty chair isn't empty. Watch.
I can still see him sitting there.
Raj?
Who else? He always sat apart from us. He said he liked to observe. He never joined the circle.
Yeah, I remember.
Where is everyone? Why aren't they here yet? We're all here. Good.
All but Raj.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Lighten up.
I may be imagining things, but I get the feeling that people are uptight. Am I wrong? Care to elaborate?
I got nothing to say.
How about you?
I'm a recovering substance abuser. Everyone knows recovering substance abusers never have anything to say.
When I was on coke, you could not shut me up. All I did was talk, talk, and talk. I did a lot of coke.
Raj was like that sometimes. And that's when I could tell he was using. He'd run off at the mouth nonstop.
I always knew because of the cigarettes. 3, 4 packs. Rod sure could puff.
And drink. Last time I saw him, he said he wasn't drinking anymore. Only beer. Said beer didn't count.
We all agree about that cop-out.
2 6-packs on his last birthday. Maybe more.
How old was he on his birthday? I forget.
Doesn't matter. He won't get any older.
He was 16,
No, he was 15, I think.
but he drove a car.
But he didn't have a license.
Big deal. No license? Public enemy number 1.
I have a suggestion.
Shoot.
Don't say shoot. I'm clean. Only kidding.
Your sense of humor stinks.
So sue me.
Anyone care to hear my suggestion?
Sure. Fine.
Why not?
What is it?
Let's stare it in the face. Raj is dead. Overdose. The medical examiner said there was enough stuff in his system to drop an elephant. All of you have almost been there. We all knew Raj. We all liked Raj, at least I think we did. We'll never see him again.
He was a great guy.
How would you know?
Want to make something of it?
Yeah, what? Calm down, guys. Why don't we forget about our usual session and talk about Raj? He was sitting in here with us last week, right there.
Maybe I don't want to talk about Raj.
Chicken.
No, I just don't like to think about people dying, especially at our age.
Why?
It's not right.
If she doesn't want to talk about it, she doesn't have to.
That was a mind bender last week, writing our own obituaries. I had bad dreams all night.
I wrote I was going to die when I was 80. I'd like to change that. I want to make it 110. I want to die of old age.
I thought writing our own obituaries was dumb. Like, how would I know how many kids I'm gonna have or what my partner's name is gonna be? Gruesome.
Gruesome. I found the exercise to be quite interesting, actually. Most people don't get to write about their own obituaries.
Lucky them.
It helped me.
How?
It made me less afraid.
Afraid of what?
Everything. Other people. You know what I wish? Right this second? I wish I was high. I wish I was as high as I could get. I wish I was so high you couldn't get me down. I wish Raj was with us tonight. That's what I wish.
If you'd rather keep our usual session, that's fine with me. This may be something you'd rather not deal with.
Why not?
You tell me.
Let's go for it.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
Who wants to go first? Why don't you start?
No sweat. I'm easy. My name is Satvik. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a recovering substance abuser. Grass, cough medicine, crystal, you name it. The thing I remember best about Raj was his optimism. Boy, he was about the most optimistic dude I ever knew. One week, he wanted to be a brain surgeon, and no one could ever tell him different. And then the next week, he wanted to be a government agent for the CIA. I mean, like, he believed it. And after a while, I believed it too. He told me once I could always count on him if I needed help. Oh yeah, I said to myself, you can always count on a user to let you down. Look who's talking. I ought to know. Said he was going to help me fix up this old wreck vehicle I had. And one Saturday morning, before my folks were even up, he was out in the field tinkering with the engine. I couldn't believe it was him. His eyes weren't watery, and his nose wasn't running. And boy, did he work. He actually got that heap humming. He was a great mechanic, the best. He loved machinery. Told me one day he was going to open up a string of garages and repair shops. Foreign cars mostly. And then I asked him, is that going to be before or after the CIA? Funny thing about that, he didn't remember about the CIA. Nor did he ever remember about wanting to be a brain surgeon either. But man, he was certain he was going to open up those garages. Well, like I said, the thing I remember best was Raj's optimism. He was really into being positive about the future.
Thank you for sharing. Someone else?
My name's Sia. I'm 16 and I'm a recovering substance abuser. Alcohol was my thing.
Is your thing.
That's right. Alcohol is my thing. You name it and I drink it. Or I did. Vodka, gin, tequila, wine, Kahlua with milk, Kahlua without milk, brandy. Didn't matter. Whatever my parents had behind the bar was fair game. I haven't had a drink in almost 5 months. Raj made me laugh. That's what I remember best. He was funny. He knew the best terrible jokes I ever heard. He'd see me sometimes when I was down, out of it, and he'd make me smile. I don't know how he did it, but he made me feel I was, well, I don't want to sound foolish, but he made me feel important. I never thought I counted for much. No one else did either. Certainly not my folks. I could say that's why I drink, but who knows? I said to Raj one day after math class, how come you're such a boost to me? And he said, real casual, why not you? You think you don't matter or something? And then he told me this truly gross joke about a skunk that got squashed on the highway. But what he said got me thinking. Why not me? I matter. I do matter. To myself, if not to anyone else. I'm only sorry I never got to say, thanks, Raj. You knew a lot of lousy jokes, but you're a good person.
My name is Aarav. I'm 16 and also a recovering substance abuser. Weed, hash. I'll be honest, I didn't like Raj when I first met him, but I figured he may have been a good connection. Money was no problem for me. In fact, I was the best little thief in town, but I never stole from my parents. I knew that would be a dead giveaway. I knew how to cover my tracks.
What do you want from us? The Congressional Medal of Honor?
Let him continue. Go on.
I met Raj on a hill behind the tennis courts. I figured he may have had something I could score on, and I was right. He sat there with this kind of funny look in his eyes. I figured he was nodding. He asked me if I ever thought about all the people in the world. I could answer that easy. I mean, why should I? What have all the people in the world done for me? He said it made him sad. The world. That's what he said. I never understood what he meant. Anyways, he had a joint, said he didn't like using a pipe. When I asked him how much, he said, "Take it. You probably need it more than I do." I mean, like, he gave it to me for nothing. Why do you do that? I never did anything for him. He barely knew me. If you're thinking he was pushing, you're wrong. Anyways, what he said got me thinking, and for a long time, I've been sad. Sometimes I wish he didn't get me thinking, but then I wouldn't be here with the rest of you. Would I?
That must have been difficult to share. Someone else?
My name is Vineet. I'm 17 years old, and I am also a recovering substance abuser. Sleeping pills and tranquilizers. Couldn't get enough. There weren't enough in drugstores to satisfy me. I met Raj when I was on the street. One day, some dude tried to take off with my sleeping bag, and Raj chased him down, and he actually got it back. I don't have to tell you. I thought he was some kind of a nut. I mean, who sticks their neck out for someone else? He borrowed my lighter and he asked my name. He was very friendly. And boy, did he have the smarts. Street smarts. He could tell you anything you wanted to know. Where's the closest free clinic? Who's dishing out free food? Or what building was the safest to sleep in? That's how come I got to be here. When I thought I couldn't take it anymore, he said I should come here so I could get help. I never expected Raj to be here though. That was a big surprise. I know he said he was just checking things out, but I do believe he wanted to be part of the group. He just couldn't admit to himself that he needed help. We all know that feeling. I have my own special memory of Raj. It's the way I'll always remember him, chasing down the street after my sleeping bag. One more thing. I think he was lonely, and he kept moving so no one would notice him, especially himself.
He was lonely? Oh my God, give me a break.
How about you?
I'm thinking.
You?
Sure. My name is Driti. I am 16. I'm a recovering substance abuser. Blah, blah, blah. I wasn't particular. If it had an alcohol content of just 1%, or it came in the shape of a pill, a powder, or even a spike. It found a home with me. On the street, they call me Garbage Pail. I can relate to Raj. I mean the OD part. Now I know everyone's gonna say, it was an accident, but I just believe he had enough. That can happen. Oh yes, yes, yes. One time, when I was high, I did this with the dull razor blade. Stupid, kid stuff. But I figured, who'd care? Why'd it matter? Things pile up, you know. It's like 10 people trying to get through a revolving door. The door jams. No one gets through. You know, I didn't know Raj too well, but one time we had this great talk about things you can grow in a garden. No, I don't mean pot plants. I mean, like, flowers.
What?
Flowers.
What?
Flowers! And vegetables. I thought the dude was a farmer. No, I didn't think he was a farmer. No one would take Raj for that. Farmers don't go 3 days without sleep, do they? Anyhow, I couldn't believe all the things Raj knew about. Like, what do I know from a lilac bush or a cucumber? You know, I asked him one time, how come he was so interested in things like that? And he said he liked to watch things grow. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was so deep. We were gonna have a long talk sometime about things, you know, the universe, rock bands, out-of-body experiences, even politics. We never got around it. And now, well, it's just too late.
Any thoughts? Pass. Still thinking?
I'm always thinking.
Want to share anything?
Well, I think this whole thing is kind of a bummer. But what's one more bum on the road of life? Fight or flee, right?
Those are the options.
I don't run away from things anymore. Not running away ain't easy.
No, it isn't.
About Raj.
Got a name?
Got a problem?
Okay. We play by the rules. My name is Rishabh. I'm 17. I'm a recovering substance abuser. I only had one friend. I only wanted one friend. I only needed one friend. Crack. You could keep your liquor and your nutritious food and your nice warm home. If I had crack, I had it all. And I mean all. Or thought I did. I wasn't afraid of anything. Until Raj told me I was afraid. Boy, did I laugh at him. Then he spelled it out for me, like a teacher writing something on a blackboard. He said, I was afraid of coming down. Said I had to keep my head twisted because I couldn't stand myself when I was clean. That shook me up, honest. It sounds simple, but I never really looked at it like that before. When I was smoking, everything seemed different. No problems, but when I wasn't smoking, I was always scared. The days where I couldn't scratch up some money, I felt like I was living in hell. I felt like my skin was on fire. Know how I got to this place? Raj brought me. He didn't stay. I turned around and he was gone. And I thought to myself, boy, Raj knows what it's all about. One very self-contained dude. Nothing will get him down. He'll beat the odds. Last I saw him, he said he was going to join the Marines. It didn't matter that he was underage. He had ways. He spoke about his family often. He made them sound like they were rich and famous and beautiful. Funny thing though, he never seemed to go home. He was always around. Someplace, somewhere. I think Raj understood a lot about other people. But I'm not sure he really ever understood himself. Maybe he hadn't seen enough of the world. Or maybe he had just seen too much. Or something like that.
How come I was the only one at his funeral? Where were the rest of you?
I didn't hear about Raj until after the funeral.
Did you know it was only me and a few old people who claimed they were neighbors? It was the first funeral I have ever been to for someone my own age. Talk about a downer. I've been depressed all week.
Let me ask you something. How many of you think Raj committed suicide? How many of you think it was an accident? Maybe you don't want to think about it one way or the other.
What do you think?
I know there was too much of a bad substance in his body, and it killed him.
Cop out, cop out, cop out.
Accident or deliberate? Drugs killed our friend Raj. Those obituaries I had you write about yourselves, if you recall, Raj wouldn't read his out aloud. I have it here. Why don't one of you read it for the rest of us? You were the only one to make it to the funeral. I think you should do it.
Raj Mehta, 60, of Rosemont Valley, died last Thursday of natural causes. The son of the late Mukesh and Nita Mehta, he was born in Edison, New Jersey, where he spent his early life. He served as a major in the United States Marine Corps and was president of Mehta Garages, Inc. Mr. Mehta had one of the finest farms in Rosemont Valley, and he was well known for his work with various charities. He is survived by his wife, Sunita, daughter, Rashmi, son, Deepak, and his dog, Amigo. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Friends of the Earth Society and Save the Elephants Foundation.
He wrote it very well, didn't he?
Raj was no dum-dum.
His heart broke. I think that's what happened. I think that's what killed him.
He overdosed.
Yeah, I know. He overdosed.
Raj doesn't have any more chances. You do. Why don't we stand, take hands, and remember Raj in our own way for a few moments. That's all. Guys, substance abuse and drug addiction are real issues that teenagers are facing. Today, Raj's chair was empty, but any one of us can succumb to drug addiction, and our chair could be empty. You may be feeling lost, drowning in a sea of despair, but let me assure you, there is hope. Please remember that you matter and that you are not defined by your addiction. And the world matters too. It needs you. It needs your talents, your passions, and your voice. Overcoming addiction is not easy, but it's not impossible either. There is help available, and you have the power to overcome your addiction. I'll see you all next week.
You knew a lot of lousy jokes, Raj. Thanks for letting me hear them.
I'll stick with it. One more week, just for you. You wrote something at the bottom. There is a land, so I've been told, a place for you and I, where we will walk forever neath some far and distant sky.
Stand darkly, in shock or despair, are we hopeful of a better future for all these young adults around us? Let me take this opportunity to invite the director of this play on stage, Dr. Aarav Ganju. Dr. Aarav, I'd like to introduce the cast and crew of the play.
Please come out as and announce your names. Riddhi Date, Sia Inamdar, Aarav Ganju, Charity Fansal, Vinit Kasule, Rishabh Abhinkar, Vicky Kunekar, Satvik Mankar. I would also like to take this opportunity to invite my crew, Makeup and Wardrobe, Anuja Palsule and Rushali Inamdar. Stage help, Yogesh Dhakuri. And my audio person, Sachin Prabhu Desai. And my lights, Ashish and Ashish Nadkarni and Aniruddha Bhodnis.
So we have this beautiful cast ensemble here, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say that the youngest artist we have today is a 13-year-old in this play. So we're really happy. I'm sure this must have been an intense process for all of you, very hard-hitting play. What did you think was the challenge? There's really lengthy monologues in this, and captivating the audience when there's no blackout, it's a real challenge. So what did you think was the challenge while directing this play?
I think the challenge was handling such a difficult topic with kids this age, but it's a real issue because about 8% of the population, which is about 2 million people, 2 million teenagers, have done drug abuse at some point or the other in their life. And getting that concept across was the challenge. Also, most of these kids don't drive, so they had to depend on their parents to come and drop them off and things like that. But once we started the practices, the kids really pulled together, they interacted with each other, and so it was really great opportunity to work with everybody.
That's awesome. And we do have amongst us in the audience a subject matter expert on this. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite Dr. Manisha Kamath on stage to present a trophy. Dr. Manisha is an MD and board certified psychiatrist, and she specializes in the treatment of depression, anxiety, stress disorders, and mood disorders by offering adult individual psychotherapy and psychopharmacology services. So, Dr. Manisha, I do have a few questions for you as well. From the point of view of the audience and being an experienced professional in this, how much did you think this play really hits home? How close is it to the real world that we live in and the young adults among us?
Absolutely. I was watching this play, looking at these teenagers, I could see that this is a real topic. It was portrayed here or presented here in the theater, but this is a real topic. In fact, the script was written, I think, in 1990s. 1990, I think I was looking at the script and it is copyrighted in 1990. Unfortunately, 33 years later, it is even much more relevant. The nation is dealing with this opioid crisis, opioid epidemic, and a lot of empty chairs. When we are looking at the data from CDC, from 1991 or 1999 till 2021, there is 6 times increase, not just double or quadruple, it's 6 times increase in the deaths due to overdose. The total count of deaths from 1999 till date is about 645,000. So when we look at the empty chairs, 645,000 empty chairs, those individuals, those families, somebody has lost their children, somebody has lost their brothers, siblings, and not just for teenagers, but it is for young adults also. Typically we see mainly deaths happening in 30s and 40s. By that age, patients have gone through so much, and then finally it is either accidental overdose or it is because of depression that co-occurs with this, they just succumb to suicide. So this is a real topic, genuine topic, and well done. I do have one quick question that's always made me worry about it. People say addiction is a disease, but some do believe it's a choice. What was your experience about this? What would you say about it? Yeah, this is a really good question. So I'm just going to ask everyone, when we are celebrating Diwali or celebrating some holiday and there is a lot of sweets in the house, right? So when we start having one sweet and then we cannot stop and you feel like, okay, I'm full at this point, but still I want to have that one more. It is a choice, I would say, at that point. But let's look at the brain chemistry or the changes that happen during that time. So whenever we are getting that rush, when we eat that particular sweet, something is reinforced. And because of that, we want to continue eating more and more and more. And though we know that this might not be a good thing, it's going to upset our stomach, we are going to gain weight, some diabetics also may say, I'm just one thing, but we still continue, we succumb to that behavior. Now, on top of that, just add, so I'm just assuming we do not have any addiction per se, or we are not diagnosed with a particular disease. But I just wanted to pass that idea along so that you can think through and decide, whether it's a choice or a disorder. Whenever something is happening, there is, when these kids or teenagers are experimenting with certain drugs, there is a rush that is felt. And because of that rush, they want to do it more. Because they do it more, they develop tolerance. What it means is 1 gram of whatever cocaine is not enough. Now they have to go to 2 grams to get that rush or to get that effect. Then they start depending on it. If they don't do it, then they go through the withdrawal symptoms. So in order to prevent those withdrawal symptoms, they have to do more. And so it's like a vicious cycle. Plus, most of the times there are co-occurring conditions like depression and anxiety. These people don't know how to express their emotions. There could be lack of support system. And because of that, in order to feel something or in order to terminate, say, pain or anxiety symptoms, they experiment with these drugs, and after that, they just start getting into that vicious cycle. And I would call it a disease because there is a lot of research about how certain chemicals affect our neurochemistry and neurobiology, and certain reward systems or centers in the brain kind of light up when these substances are consumed. And because of that, people just succumb to it. And what I would suggest, thank you. What I would suggest is spreading the awareness, like what you are doing is extremely important for people to just identify some of these symptoms of anxiety and depression is very helpful. And I congratulate Dr. Ashok Chaudhary for bringing on these plays which are very relevant to social issues like this. So as the name suggests, Natya Darpan means mirroring through social issues through theater. And he has been doing this, and this was a wonderful play. And I think you have the answer, right? I mean, it starts as a choice, but then it is a disorder. And then there is a lot of genetic and legal complications associated with it.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank my cast crew, their parents, my friends and family. We have a huge support group that came from Philadelphia. We have about 40 thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for showing us the sad reality around us through this play. Thank you, everyone.